Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog, and today we are going to talk about Walt Disney World food myths debunked. We're going to take care of a few of these myths that you may be concerned about on your upcoming trip and let you know not to worry about it or what the status is. So let's get started. First up, the kids menu is only for kids. This is not necessarily true. It does state that the kids menu is for children ages 3 to 9, usually. At counter service locations, you can go ahead and order off of the kids menu. Nobody's going to double check. Nobody's going to ask, is this for a kid ages 3 to 9? You can absolutely order off the kids menu. When you are at a table service location, things may get a little bit more sketchy. You can ask them if you can order off the kids menu, and your server might allow you to do that. But if they don't, they may be able to bring you kids menu food, but at a adult portion size and charging an adult price. So counter service location, definitely order from the kids menu for sure. No problems there. Table service location, you may have to pay a little bit more to get an adult portion of a kids menu item if nothing else appeals to you. Next myth, only sit-down restaurants are high quality. Not true at all. There are some really amazing counter service restaurants that have recently opened in Walt Disney World that have brought the level of food quality at counter service locations up significantly, like exponentially. We are talking about Be Our Guest restaurant for lunch. Really, really great food in my experience, in my opinion. Sunshine Seasons over in Epcot has some awesome food, really high quality stuff. Flame Tree Barbecue has that great barbecue, those awesome other options as well. Geyser Point over at Wilderness Lodge and Roaring Fork at Wilderness Lodge are both killer locations for really, really good counter service food. Deluxe Burger, Polite Pig in Disney Springs. Tons of locations in Disney Springs have opened, giving you access to super high-end counter service food. So I would say probably 5 years ago, this wasn't as true as it is now, but at this point, so many counter service locations have opened in Disney Springs and around Walt Disney World and in the resorts especially, that you can find excellent quality, very high quality, high standard counter service food anywhere in Disney World these days. Next one, it's impossible to eat on a budget. Not true. Yes, Disney World has very expensive food. Yes, that is true. I'm not going to debunk that. That is not a myth that have very expensive food, but it is possible to eat on a budget. Grab one of those counter service options, those counter service meals, and share it. There are plenty of counter service meals that are absolutely huge, perfect for sharing. We totally recommend Tangerine Cafe over in Morocco. Get one item and share it. There's plenty of food for you to eat. Don't forget to get your free ice water. All counter service locations will give you free ice water. Those popcorn buckets, you can pay to get the initial popcorn bucket and then refill it for a very low price throughout your entire trip, which is awesome. And don't forget to bring food into the parks as well. A lot of people think you can't bring food into the parks, but you can. The only thing you can't bring in are glass bottles and alcohol. So you can bring in your own food, your own lunches, your packed lunches, etc. It is possible to eat in Walt Disney World on a budget for sure. Myth number 4, same-day advanced dining reservations are impossible to find. Not true, and especially not true even for some of the most popular restaurants. You can find same-day advanced dining reservations, and what that means is basically, restaurant reservations. You can find same-day advanced dining reservations at plenty of restaurants, even at places like Be Our Guest restaurant in Magic Kingdom, which is one of the most popular spots to dine in Walt Disney World right now. I have scored a Cinderella's Royal Table reservation on the same day, which is of course that fancy restaurant in the castle with all the princesses. Basically, your goal is to be flexible with when you can eat. So keep checking back, keep looking back on your My Disney Experience app to see if anything's opened up, and be flexible with your timing. If you're able to eat kind of any time during the evening, then chances are something will probably open up. Don't forget, you can also do a walk-up. So head over and walk up to the podium at whatever restaurant you'd like to dine at and let them know that you're looking for a walk-up table. You'll be surprised how many of them will have experienced cancellations just in the past 24 hours and will be able to accommodate you. So while we always recommend booking 180 days in advance for those super popular restaurants just to lock in your reservation, it is possible to get a same-day advanced dining reservation for sure. Myth number 5, character meals are only for kids. Not true at all. I go to character meals all the time by myself. They're actually really, really fun to go to. You can chat with the cast members. If they are face characters, which means they are not wearing kind of like a mask or a mouse head or something, they can actually talk to you, and it's really fun to chat with them about their story. So you ask Cinderella about how her pumpkin patch is doing, or you ask Jasmine how Raja is doing today. How's Raja today?
He's good. I think he's about to take his mid-morning cat nap back in the palace.
That sounds wonderful. You know, it's really fun to ask them about their story, and they'll respond in kind. They'll tell you about, you know, this is how Raja's doing today, or the pumpkins were growing really, really well, but we got a lot of rain, or something like that. You know, some funny stuff. They're better at it than I am. That's why they have those jobs and I don't, because I'm a bad actress. But it's really fun to talk to some of the characters, and definitely don't feel like character meals are a place where you will be out of place or uncomfortable by yourself. There's plenty of adults there in groups of adults only, or even adults by themselves. Happens all the time. Next myth, there's nothing healthy to eat at a theme park. Maybe 20 years ago this was true, but this is absolutely not true any longer. There's plenty of healthy, good for you, better for you food in Walt Disney World and in Disneyland as well. Like I said, the counter service locations have really stepped up their game. There's a lot of sourcing that is local. There's a lot of sustainable sourcing these days. The table service locations will always have healthy options for you. The kids' menus have changed drastically in the past few years. They now have what they call Mickey check meals, which have to meet certain standards and guidelines for health. So if you want your kids to have a healthier option on the kids menu, be sure to look for those Mickey check meals. But even for just regular, you know, grown-up counter service meals or table service meals, you're always going to find some healthier options. Fresh fruits, fresh vegetables. You're going to find vegetarian items and options. So there's going to be healthier and a broader array of options available to you in the theme parks than ever before. So I wouldn't worry for a second about staying on your diet or maintaining your healthy lifestyle while you were in Walt Disney World. Myth number 8, everything is frozen or processed. Again, maybe a few years ago that would be the case. This is not true anymore. Disney is really working hard to source locally, to source fresh market-inspired menus, and you will find fresh fruit, fresh vegetables in every single park. There's a lot of great snack options like corn on the cob. There's a big focus on bringing in organic items as well. And again, seasonal and local ingredients are always on the menus at the table service restaurants. So while maybe some of your standard chicken nuggets and burgers are still going to be frozen or processed, there are going to be other options on the menu so that you can choose better choices for your health while you're there. Next up, the Disney dining plan is always or never a good deal. Here at DFB, we don't ever say always or never when it comes to the dining plan because it really does depend on your party, your experience, and what you like to eat and don't like to eat. So when it comes to the Disney dining plan, you can absolutely save money with the Disney dining plan, or you could not save any money at all and in fact spend way more on the dining plan than you would if you just paid out of pocket for your food. You need to crunch the numbers. You have to look at the menus. Check out our DFB guide to Walt Disney World dining. We have a whole chapter all about making sure the dining plan is right or not right for you. We walk you through it. We show you a full week's vacation of eating so you can see what it would look like to save money on the dining plan, and you can get a good idea of whether or not it will actually cost you more to get the dining plan than it would to pay out of pocket. Gotta crunch those numbers. We try to do it for you here at DFB all the time. We've got plenty of videos about the dining plan here. It can be a great option for a lot of people, and for others, they would much rather just pay out of pocket and not worry about trying to meet their SNAP credit quota. So it can be a good option either way. You just got to figure out what's right for you and your family. The next myth, alcohol isn't served in Disney parks. That's not true any longer. When Walt first opened Disneyland, it was a dry park. It still is a dry park, except for Club 33, which is an exclusive members-only location in Disneyland. However, in Disney World, none of the parks are dry any longer. Magic Kingdom was dry for a long time. At this point, there is alcohol in the majority of the table service restaurants. Alcohol is served in all 4 other parks, definitely served in Disney Springs and in the water parks. So alcohol is served in just about every single Disney park in the world at this point, except for Disneyland, with that dry park except for Club 33. So you can have beer and wine or specialty cocktails and drinks at just about every Disney World table service location and at most of the counter service locations as well. Don't forget that the dining plan last year added on an alcohol option, so you can actually have an alcoholic beverage or a specialty non-alcoholic beverage with every single dining credit in your dining plan as well. All right, next up, there's nothing but burgers and fries. You know already, this is not true. If you've been watching our channel, you are 100% aware that this is totally a myth. But a lot of people going to Disney World for the first time think, oh, the only things they have are burgers, fries, chicken nuggets, and pizza. Not true. We love our burgers and fries and chicken nuggets and pizza here at DFB, but there's plenty of other options. Lots of great high-end signature restaurants. Disney World has Victoria and Albert's, which is a AAA 5-diamond restaurant, and it's the highest rated restaurant in Central Florida right now. You've got California Grill, Narcoossee's, Citrico's, all these great, awesome restaurants that are fancy pants, but they also have some moderate price dining locations that offer some great eats too. And again, even counter service, you're not just going to get burgers and fries. You can go get some great barbecue. You can go get some awesome vegetarian options, fish and pasta and sandwiches and some other great stuff. So definitely don't feel like you are going to be stifled in your food options and choices when you are in Walt Disney World. One of our favorite places to eat, as you know right now, is Morimoto Asia over in Disney Springs. Some incredible Pan-Asian cuisine. Definitely a spot to try out. The next myth, there aren't any romantic Disney restaurants. This is not true either, of course. There are plenty of great honeymoon restaurants. Disney World, a lot of people don't know this, but it is actually one of the top honeymoon destinations in the world. So lots of people go there for their honeymoon every year. We can highly recommend Victoria and Albert's. It's a very fancy schmancy restaurant, but it can definitely be romantic. I think California Grill, watching those fireworks is incredibly romantic as well. Chico is one of my favorite romantic restaurants. It's where I went on my first Valentine's Day with my now husband, was to Chico over in Animal Kingdom Lodge. So lots of extremely romantic restaurants for sure. Next myth, there are no good bars or lounges in Disney World. Again, this kind of plays into the people thinking at Disney World's just for kids and there's nothing for adults there. Definitely not true. There are plenty of good bars and lounges. We've done a whole video about our favorite bars and lounges. And the great thing about the lounges in Disney World is that they serve great food as well. And a lot of them are connected to fancier, higher end restaurants, and they serve similar food to what you'll find in those restaurants. It comes out of the same kitchen. So you can really get some high end stuff at these lounges where you don't even have to have a dining reservation. Some that we can really recommend, Trader Sam's Grog Grotto, one of my favorites. That's over in Polynesian Village Resort. Lots and lots of fun. It's an experience in and of itself. Head over to Geyser Point over in Wilderness Lodge. Cava del Tequila is a little tiny tequila cave in the Mexico Pavilion that's absolutely phenomenal. It would blow your mind the kind of process that goes into choosing tequilas for that place. It's amazing. But there are some great bars, some great lounges, and some wonderful places for you to just sort of relax and take a load off at the end of the night after a bunch of parks in Disney World. Next up, table service restaurants are too stuffy for kids. That's one thing that you should really get over, is thinking that you're going to go too many places where there aren't any children in Disney World. Children are welcome to pretty much every restaurant in Disney World except for Victoria and Albert's. So whether you're in a bar or a lounge or a high-end restaurant, chances are there will probably be some kids there. So your kids are welcome there as well. And I think that the servers really go out of their way to make sure that the kids are comfortable, that they understand what's on the menu, that they understand their options. There's always going to be a kids menu at every restaurant, and there's always going to be options for your children to eat at every restaurant. And also be sure to ask your server for kids activities. They will probably be able to find some sort of activity for your children to do while you are waiting for your food. Some of our favorite places to take your kids for table service restaurants, Ohana in Disney's Polynesian Village Resort is awesome. This is a Hawaiian themed restaurant with entertainment, kids games, and fun adventures for them to do while they're dining. It's really, really fun for dinner. And of course, it's a character meal for breakfast. Don't forget, character meals are also table service meals. Those are sit-down meals. So it's great to have those characters come over and visit while you're there. We also love Whispering Canyon Cafe for your kids. While they've sort of downgraded the crazy antics a little bit, it's still a lot of fun to dine there. And they have assured us that they still have some fun, exciting additions to the meals. They've just been asked to kind of stay a little bit quieter. So that's what's going on at Whispering Canyon Cafe over there in Wilderness Lodge. And of course, don't forget to hit those character meals. Those are definitely things that your kids are going to want to enjoy. Next myth, dining with allergies is too hard. We just did a whole video on gluten-free options. There are dairy-free, soy-free, allergy-friendly stuff all over Walt Disney World. Disney gets awards for being able to provide excellent meals for people that are dining with food allergies, and it's really, really 100% possible to plan ahead for dining with allergies in Disney World. Go check out that gluten-free video for tips and tricks if you're headed there with pretty much any allergy. The beginning of that video will tell you how to handle your planning for going and how to deal with it once you get to the restaurants as well. Something that I really love about allergies in Walt Disney World is that they offer and provide allergy-free alternatives for their regular snacks. So there's lots of snack options available to kids, Disney-themed, Disney-branded snacks that are really delicious and that have Mickey's face on them too. So it's not like they're missing out on anything. They actually get to have their Disney snacks as well. Next myth, it's too hard to visit Disney World with a baby. Well, I'm not gonna lie, it is hard to visit Disney World with a baby. It's hard to go anywhere with a baby. But, well, at least it was for me. I don't know, maybe you super moms out there are much better at that, but for me it was really hard. But don't forget the baby care centers. There are baby care centers available that will offer you a quiet place to sit, to breastfeed, to calm down your children. If you have guests with you who have sensory disorders or who have sensory issues, who need to kind of escape and be alone for a little bit, these are great places to bring them as well. And those baby care centers will also sell diapers, food, juice, formula, all the kinds of stuff you might need with your child. Also, don't forget the rider switch program. This is a really good one to be aware of if you are traveling in Disney World with a baby. If you and your spouse or your partner want to both ride a thrill ride, you can take turns riding it and you only have to wait in line once. Next myth, there's always a line for everything. Okay, well, there's a lot of lines in Disney World, I'm not gonna lie, but there are ways to get around them too. Be sure you read up and are knowledgeable about mobile ordering. This is something that's just debuted in Walt Disney World for several counter service locations. There's at least one counter service location in every park that offers mobile ordering. You use your My Disney Experience app to order your food, and then as soon as you get to the restaurant, you can say, I'm here. They'll prepare your food. You don't have to wait in line. All you have to do is go pick up your food. Easy peasy. No problems, no lines. Save tons of time. Also, don't forget to make your fast passes. People who are going to Disney World without any planning aren't going to have any of those fast passes, and they're going to be waiting in endless lines. But you are not, my friends, because you are going to make your fast passes 30 or 60 days ahead, depending on where you're staying or what hotels you're staying in. Make your fast passes for those most popular rides first. Get those nailed down and locked in. And make sure also when you finish riding those rides on any given day, you make fast passes for other rides in that park or whatever park you're going to so that you don't have to wait in any more of those lines. Other great ways to avoid the lines, be sure to head to extra magic hours in the morning. Extra magic hours aren't quite so useful line-wise in the evening, but in the morning you can really ride a lot of things without using up a fast pass if you hit up extra magic hours. And also head to parks that aren't extra magic hour parks after extra magic hour is over. So that means that if extra magic hour is from 8 to 9 in the Magic Kingdom in the morning, go to Magic Kingdom from 8 to 9 and then go to a different park where there isn't extra magic hours, so there won't be all those extra people there that came in the morning. So we hope that was helpful. There are tons of Disney food and just general Disney myths that just aren't true or that you can get around or that you can avoid. So we hope this helps you with your planning. If you would like to check out this list and many others, you can see it over on Disney Food Blog right now. Here's the link. Head on over and read up on other myths that we have debunked here at Disney Food Blog. Let us know in the comments your experiences. Please like this video if you liked it, and please subscribe to our channel. We'd love to have you as a subscriber. We will give you the notification of when new videos go up. Thanks for listening and thanks for watching. This is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.